First, you build the park and hire staff. Then you begin expeditions in search of fossils and mosquitoes trapped in amber. Then comes creating new life from something long dead millions of years ago. This is then followed up by crowds of people willing to pay top dollar to see these creatures in a habitat as close to natural as you decide for them. Then, soon enough, comes the screaming and yelling, as one of these creatures you created with much larger teeth escapes due to a less than obvious power disruption at an inopportune time. All the while your ranger jeep is stuck inside a restaurant. This is all fine though, because soon after the alarms have ended and the creatures are back in their enclosures, people come pouring back in once more to do it all over again. It's just a shame they care as little for their own lives as much as Jurassic World Evolution seems to care for its overall business and part simulation mechanics. Evolution was at its best when I was simply planning out the next enclosure I wanted to build for one of the many dinosaurs it's possible to dig up and bring back from the past. Evolution features an impressive roster of over 40 different dinosaurs, many of which are from the various films. Everything from the obvious Tyrannosaurus, to the ever so clever and overgrown Velociraptors, and even that spliced up monstrosity from Jurassic World. But this roster of dinos also includes some notable surprises not seen in the films, such as the Gigantosaurus, my personal favorite. All of them are beautifully and meticulously detailed. Simply sitting back and watching them was something I spend more time doing than I care to admit. All of these dinosaurs also include their own distinct stats and preferences that you'll need to be aware of to fully integrate them into your park. Things as simple as how much foliage and grassland you need to have in your enclosure, to the more complicated matters of maintaining dinosaur population and social stats by ensuring you have just the right amount of them in any specific enclosure. Having too many or too little of something will result in your dinosaur's comfort levels dropping, followed up by them getting pissed off and trying to break out of the enclosure. That said, it's difficult to gauge what your enclosure will need to hatch a new dinosaur for the first time, as you can only more or less find out once you release one inside it. Notably, you can also modify the dinosaurs themselves by messing with their genome, allowing for a number of different alternate colors to choose from and stats. This also increases the rating of that dinosaur at the risk of making them harder to incubate and the predators far more dangerous. Regardless, these dinosaurs will break out thanks to a huge variety of things that can go wrong within your park, from power outages and sabotage, to massive storms that can hit your island at any moment. It's here where both the dinosaur and part tycoon aspects blend perfectly, as you can chase down dinosaurs with an ACU helicopter to tranquilize them before they chow down on too many customers. However, these brief moments of chaos are some of the very few decent part tycoon and simulation mechanics in Evolution, as pretty much everything else is extremely shallow. Sure, Evolution has a fair amount of variety in what you can build, but none of it really adds to anything outside of a simplistic 5-star rating system. You build restaurants and stores to serve food and sell stuff. You build shelters and hotels to keep your guests safe and so more can come. That's about as far as Evolution treads into the realm of business tycoon. There are no quotas to meet or time constraints. Hell, the concept of time is straight up absent altogether in Evolution, including day and night cycles. Instead, Evolution simply has preset times of day across different islands. In terms of how weak of a business simulation Evolution is, as an example, you don't even need to worry about how clean your park is. Your recreation of Jurassic World doesn't even have any bathrooms, benches, or trash cans anywhere to be found. You also don't interact with the guests in any meaningful way. Instead, feedback just boils down to a small window advising you of 3 specific criteria to meet for both your dinosaur and facility rating. Even worse, when those dinosaurs do eventually break out and eat your guests, the consequences are so minimal it's almost comedic. Once they're back in the enclosures and all the alarms are over, regardless of the damage caused and the lives lost, as long as you still have a fair amount of dinosaurs on hand, the park will continue to make more money than you can even spend. To compensate for the lacking business tycoon mechanics, Evolution instead offers up a variety of tasks to complete in the form of contracts and missions. You'll progress through these missions across 5 different island scenarios, given to you by 3 specific divisions that run the whole operation known simply as Science, Security, and Entertainment. The missions and contracts themselves range from researching a specific type of new genome modification, increasing the island to a specific rating, or even incubating a specific set of dinosaurs. Notably, the voice work in Evolution is pretty solid, thanks to its star-studded cast that includes the likes of Jeff Goldblum reprising his role as Dr. Ian Malcolm.
More people, more complexity, more probability that something goes wrong. I'm not saying don't take the contract, but I am saying I told you so in advance.
You'll mostly hear dialogue during and after the missions themselves, with an overarching plot of Dr. Malcolm trying to get to the bottom of what Dr. Wu and the security division are up to. But sadly, that plot thread goes nowhere. After completing the final mission of the game, various characters spouted some throwaway dialogue, resulting in the game coming to a pause, and then the credits rolled. Simply put, the overall progression system in Evolution is downright awful, and makes me wish cheat codes were still a thing so I could simply skip this crap. Worse yet, Evolution dates off dinosaurs and buildable amenities behind these contracts and missions as unlockables for completing them. Throw all this in with a surprising lack of space to build things across the 5 scenario islands, and it makes the already unfulfilling park building more frustrating than it should be. Even once I completed all the missions across the 5 islands, the final free-for-all island with unlimited money wasn't exactly as large as I'd hoped. Admittedly, you do unlock this island pretty early in Evolution, but in order to make use of the space effectively, you'll still need access to those dinosaurs, research, and buildable amenities. But despite all of this, after playing over 50 hours of Evolution, I still certainly had my fair share of fun. But if you're looking for a solid dinosaur-themed tycoon or business sim, then you might want to keep looking, because sadly, Evolution just comes off feeling like it was rushed out the door. Here's hoping Frontier Developments continues to support the game in the coming months, because what's here right now is just a skeleton of a game waiting to be fossilized. But for more written reviews and original features, be sure to head on over to Destructoid.com.